Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm here to talk about some real shit. Really, I'm just here to give you gentle reminders that will help you remember that you are okay. So let's start off with the first topic, worthiness. So as far as I could remember, I think I've been dealing with worthiness issues, like not feeling worthy, or like, you know what? I'm just gonna bring out my notes because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay. Your worth does not depend on what you offer. You don't have to prove your worthiness in any way. Your existence is inherently worthy. You wouldn't be here otherwise. Just sit with that truth for a second. Worthiness is literally like it doesn't even have to be a thing, because we are all worthy of what we want, of what we love. You know, we're worthy of love. Like, just being alive, you already have that worthiness that you think you lack, that you think you need to prove. You don't need to prove anything to anybody. Just love yourself, bruh. When I say love yourself, I know it's easier said than done. I guess what I mean is stop caring about what other people might think of you and just worry about building that positive self-talk to yourself. Like, just be nice to yourself. Be nice to yourself. Is that so hard? You know what you're going through the more than anybody else. Like, no one else knows your position of what you have to deal with every day. Only you know that. So if anybody's going to understand you, it'll have to be you first. I mean, there are those people that kind of just very observant and they see what's going on with other people, but at the end of the day, you gotta have the space to realize that you are doing the best you can. You're doing the best you can, and if you don't like what you're doing, and even though it's your best, then that means it's time to take accountability and do what you need to do to get where you want to be. But it doesn't need to be out of self-hatred or something like that, because I have this quote saved in my camera roll that says, if being hard on yourself works, then it would have worked by now. But you're still in a place where you aren't satisfied for XYZ reasons. So being hard on yourself is only gonna make your life harder. Like, you're making your life harder for yourself by being insecure, by worrying about what other people think. That is being insecure, vice versa. I guess I'll continue. I have always struggled with this feeling of worthiness as a child. I'm gonna talk about my childhood, and this is not to bash my parents in any way. This is just to share my personal experience, because, you know, the human experience is actually very universal. It's not very personal at all. Like, everybody be going through something, someone, somewhere, or somehow. So I'm just gonna share with you a little bit, a glimpse into my upbringing. As a child, I didn't receive much attention growing up. My mom says I was a good kid and I never gave her problems. I think even as a toddler, I felt that there was no room for me to have problems. I wanted to make things easier for my parents. I didn't ask for so many toys. I didn't ask to get fast food all the time. I knew somehow that there wasn't room for it, so I quieted my desires from an early age. Isn't that freaking crazy? Like, I get on to my nieces for always wanting to go to the store and spend some money, but like, it's nice to see that they're not afraid to express their desires. So gotta give it to them for that, because I didn't do that. I didn't. But yeah, so just the fact that, like, I wrote this last night. I was sobbing. I was like, "Rah!" Anyways, uh, not literally, but yeah, I was crying. But yeah, so let me continue. The relationships with my parents felt transactional. I knew they loved me and cared for me because they made sure I had everything I needed materially. But emotionally, I didn't feel the support. Only if I was physically sick, I remember getting attention from them. I'm not trying to bash my parents, it's their first time on earth too, as being a parent and everything. I'm simply sharing my personal experience. I already said that. Since I only received love through what they gave me, I took that and ran with it. And in school, I would get more attention from coaches than my parents. And even then, it's because of what I was doing. You know, I was playing their sport. But my friends, I felt their love just for my existence. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is I got the impression as a kid that you had to offer or perform to give or receive love. But that is simply not the truth. Giving out love is just a natural byproduct of being human. Like, that's how I feel. Like, if you are in a good mental space, physical space, like, if you have a good relationship with yourself, then you naturally just exude love from every single one of your pores. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just walking into a room is going to shift the frequency of that room. I like to think that I've built my self-love up a lot since high school. In my sophomore year is when I started working on my self-image and all of that. And I mean, it got worse before it got better, but you know, I feel like I've grown a lot since high school. Obviously, I mean, I hope so. But yeah, so, but I guess I still deal with feeling unworthy when it comes to like romantic relationships. I think I still struggle with that. I'm still trying to heal that part of myself that believes that I have to be some type of way or have, you know, that there's a criteria I have to fulfill before I can experience that type of love. Like, that's simply not the truth. Like, I feel like you can't think your way into fixing a problem like this. Like, even if you read about it and like think about it, how like, oh yeah, I am worthy of this, I am, like, your body is still gonna be, and like, it takes a lot more than just saying it for it to actually affect your reality. Like, affirmations and stuff is good, but that's like, I guess it's the catalyst for the rest of the change to take place. You know, you really make growth when your actions align with what you want to do. So, I mean, I've put myself out there. Bro, why am I talking about this? Anyways, moral of the story. You can do whatever you want. Some people in my life, they have a really bad negative self-talk. Or some people, they just are very anxious. You know, they're worried, they feel like the next step is going to be the end of the world type thing. I mean, I know that's very exaggerative, but yeah, just to paint a picture. I really have no good advice. You know, me saying something may help plant a seed into your subconscious, but at the end of the day, I feel like we all already know what is best for ourselves and what we need to do to like heal ourselves and what and whatnot. Like, so my only advice is to just slow down, slow down, make space in your life and in your mind to be able to digest the experiences that you've gone through that have taken a toll on you. Like, it's more so about integrating those past experiences and realizing that you are more than what ended up happening, and it's not a reflection of you, it's just a lesson to grow from. It represented what you believed at the time, but now that you're past that experience, you can start building a new foundation, because you, like, honestly, I'm just saying words at this point. I'd say that just, spend time with yourself, really. And you just gotta feel your feelings all the way. You can't be afraid of your feelings. Like, when you wanna cry, cry. When you wanna yell, you probably can't yell if you're at work or anything, but this video is just a reminder that, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be a certain way to have what you want, to experience what you want. Like, that whole, I want to become my ideal self. What if someone that you really, really respect, like, you have the utmost respect for them, what if they told you that you are your ideal self right now already? Like, you have everything you need already. What if they told you that? Like, this person, like, you take them very seriously, you believe everything they say, like, because of, like, their credibility or whatever. Imagine this person tells you straight up, bro, you're already her, you're already him, etc. Like, that would make you probably feel dumb for not realizing it until they said it. Like, I'm like, oh, wait, what? You don't have to go somewhere, like, yes, doing, like, working out and stuff like that. That stuff facilitates growth for sure. But I'm saying is, you're complete and whole already. You shouldn't feel the need to change yourself in order to love yourself. You have to love yourself where you are right now. And if you can't love yourself, you have to accept yourself first. You have to at least accept yourself. Like, I guess you could say, like, maybe you give yourself the ick by being a couch potato, or, like, not following through on what you say. You're like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so tired of myself, what and whatnot. But even then, like, sometimes people complain about their outer experiences, saying, like, oh, I'm so tired of work, I'm so tired of my car breaking down. But I feel like those experiences in the external are reflecting back to you the resistance you have inside. Like, when you're in a gratitude mindset, you just have gratitude for anything, like, for everything that you experience, even if it is bad, but everything serves a purpose, But before you can be grateful, you have to have acceptance first. So it's really acceptance that comes before anything. Like, you have to accept yourself how you are before you even feel worthy of, like, what you want. You have to just first accept yourself. Because if you keep fighting yourself, then there's always going to be, the incongruence with your thoughts and your actions, and just, that's like having resistance of where you are is just gonna make you keep going into a place where you don't want to be. So, like, when I was in college, I had a lot of resistance in my body because I did not want to be there. I was miserable, and And so eventually I left because I realized, oh wait, I don't have to be here. Like, I'm literally the only person telling myself to be here. Like, and at the end of the day, I didn't feel like it was even worth it anymore. Because I didn't know what I wanted to do with the degree and whatever. And at the end of the day, I knew college was just an option and I can find success in many other ways. So the only thing keeping me there was the fear of what other people would think of me. And guess what? Ever since I've been back, I'm like the happiest person ever. And that's because I finally let go of what other people were gonna think of me. Because at the end of the day, you're just one tiny person. You're just one person. Like, people are gonna talk about other people, but just for that one moment. Like, it really does not impact the other person. And their words about you don't need to impact you either. Like, I would go to the grocery store and whatever and see people from high school or whatever, and like teachers and stuff. They'd be like, oh, are you going back? Like, what? Like, are you taking a gap year? You better go back. And I'm like, yeah. Eventually, I didn't go back. But like, I know there's some people that are like, oh, you can go back anytime, just go back. I'm not going back. I'm not going back, bro. I'm not going to college. I don't have the desire within me. And I'm kind of getting off track. Moral of the story: I started listening to myself, my true inner self, instead of listening to my anxious thoughts of like, oh, what are they gonna people say? I'm gonna disappoint them, blah blah blah. Like, they will move on. They're gonna move on. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna just be like, oh yeah, because at the end of the day, it doesn't impact them. It only impacts you. You are the one living your life. So your decisions should be based off of what you want to do, not off of what other people expect you to do. Because they're not the ones doing it. You're the one doing it. So remember that when you make big life decisions. Be like, is this what I want? Is this what I really, really want? Not is this what society tells me that I should want? You know what I mean? But anyways, back to what I was saying, is that there was a lot of resistance in my body because I was going against what I truly felt. But once you allow yourself to feel those emotions all the way, you can't ignore them, and you have to listen to them, and you have to hear what your soul is trying to tell you. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's really good to just stay connected to your inner child, because your inner child, it just wants to experience joy, it just wants to have a lighthearted energy, you know what I mean? And that's what keeps you young. That's what keeps you in a good energy, when you are connected to when you can actually express your desires and like have those desires and not feel like you should say no to them. If you like, it's good to have a balance of like, oh, I want a cookie, but that doesn't mean I need a cookie. But you can have one cookie, you don't need to eat the whole thing. Anyways, like, it's just a matter of listening to what your body is trying to tell you. And sometimes your body will be really anxious, and that doesn't mean to listen to it as in saying like, oh yeah, my life is ending right now, what the heck. It's more so saying like, once that experience passes, because in that kind of experience, like when you're experiencing like a big heavy anxiety, it's kind of hard to be clear-headed. You're only thinking about that one thing, but then eventually that moment passes. And then when that moment passes, you gotta realize, oh, it wasn't the end of the world. I was just the one tripping. Like, I've gone through that kind of recently. I was just freaking out, but it ended up being fine. I was literally creating my own hell. That's what we do. We create our own problems. It only gets easier until you let it get easier, I guess. I don't know. You kind of have to face your fears and realize there was nothing to fear the whole time. You kind of just have to do what makes you scared. Like, if you have, like, I don't know, you can apply this to whatever you're going through. If something's causing you to overthink, then you have to take action about it. Taking action will create more clarity. Either it'll be like, so you do a decision and you're like, oh, okay, this led me here now, and you get to make more. You gain more clarity through that action you made. Like, action is going to get you out of your head, basically, because you're not going to be assuming, you're not going to be trying to make analyzations, you're just going to actually be going through the experience. And so you'll have first-hand experience, and then after that you'll be like, oh, okay, so this and that, you know, you gained that knowledge from that experience, and now you know what to do after that. And it's really just like, you have to be an active participant in your own life. You know what I mean? Just remember, you are worthy of love and all of that from yourself. Like, you deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own love, okay? I'm sure you probably give love to others and compassion to others so easily, but when it comes to yourself, you have a problem because you're like, I don't know, just because of your childhood, probably. You deserve your own love, your own kindness, your own grace. Give yourself grace. There's a balance, right? Like, maybe you gave yourself too much grace and, like, you don't do anything ever because you're like, yeah, I don't need to do anything. It all depends on how you feel, really. Like, you know when you're doing right, and you know when you're doing wrong. And when you're doing wrong, you're not supposed to beat yourself up about it. You're just supposed to gently remind yourself of what you would rather be doing. You know what I mean? Oh, I also have this quote that's, like, on my wallpaper. It says, to begin again is the practice. Begin again, that is the practice. Like, just start over. Begin again. Gently remind yourself of how you want to be, of how you want to do, of what you want to do. Just start again. Like, it's not so much about beating yourself up about getting off track. Just do what you need to do again, and those gaps will become smaller. Those gaps of inconsistency will become smaller. But it's really not that. It's like, if you get off track, it's not really getting off track because you had to experience what you experienced to begin with. Like, so, you know, there is no wrong or right way. There's just your way. So that's why we should all just be happy with ourselves, because we're doing what we want. You know what I mean? But if you're not doing what you want, then you're doing what you think you need to do. But really, you don't need to do anything. So just do what you want. Do what you want. And then you're like, oh, but what I want is, like, really bad. Well, like, you're not gonna please everybody. So just please yourself. But don't be selfish completely. Of course, be selfish. Like, you know, give your energy to yourself, but, like, don't close other people out, you know. Have a semi-permeable membrane. Like, you know, of course, you don't want to let other people's thoughts and opinions affect yourself so much, but when it comes from the right people and they're, like, giving you genuine feedback, then just take that in and see how you feel about it. See if, like, reflect on it and be like, because apparently I'm a bully. apparently I'm really mean to my guy friends. Not apparently, I am. I knew that from the beginning, but I thought it was fine because I thought, oh, guys, this is how guys treat each other. We just joke around, making fun of each other. But apparently, my words actually do hurt people. Even if I'm laughing at my own jokes, it still hurts the other person. So, yeah, I had to reflect on that and be like, oh, okay, I actually need to chill. It's hard though, after you've done it for so long, but you're not like, you know, as human beings, we're very flexible, like, you know, we're always changing. And if you're not changing, it's because you're not allowing yourself to let the experiences that you go through change you. Because every experience you go through, you're a different person after that. Even like the mundane experiences, you're different now, you know? I feel like each experience teaches you something about yourself, even if it's small. A lot of this stuff happens at the subconscious level. But yeah, another thing I would advise, getting good sleep. Sleep is so peaceful. Why don't y'all sleep? Why are y'all staying up on TikTok, man? Anyways, getting good sleep will make you feel like a normal person in a good way. Like, it'll make you feel like, oh, I actually don't have anxiety. I just needed a good night's sleep. You know what I mean? So, get good sleep and accept your current reality. You'll know exactly what to do after that. Bye!